All right, it's time to open our heart and work our pecs. So, what pecs do we need to work? Yes, they have more than one. We have a pec major that runs across the entire chest and oftentimes is not the problem child. The muscle we're after is underneath that. It's called the pec minor, and it runs from the top of your shoulder here and down and attaches to a couple of ribs. It is very emotionally driven. So when we are upset, when we've had a broken heart, it tends to rotate our shoulders forward and help protect this area. So if you find yourself with that hunched posture and you want to sit up straight like Mama always said, well, as soon as you're not thinking about it, you're going to go back to that position. So we're going to start to work open the pecs and give yourself permission to open up that heart. If you only have a foam roller, you can place the foam roller at a 45-degree-ish and moving, so I'll go ahead and use this arm here. You open your arm up and it's almost as if you put the foam roller right into that armpit. And you can feel it all the way up towards the shoulder, and you can also roll down towards your nipple. So I'm going up and down, and I may or may not find anything. And so if you don't find anything, or if you do, you want to breathe on the spots that you do find, but you can also roll out and roll in. This is an explorative experience, and I find if you try to do it like this, you're never going to find the tight spots. Another great way to get the pecs is with a ball. You want to use a ball and you want to place it in that area, and you can either get onto the floor or you can press it against a wall. I find personally, I like to place people against a wall because you have a lot more control over how much pressure you're placing in that pec area. So level 2 is where you want to be. If level 3 is it hurts too much, and level 1 it's not enough, the gravity of your body on this ball might be too much, and you may want to try a wall. Again, just like the foam roller, finding that place where you can lay down on the ball and begin to hunt for those tight spots. I found one right away. And once you're there, you want to breathe in and out of your belly, waiting for the release. Now, if you notice, I have my head up, I'm speaking to you. Sometimes when we are really active in our muscles, the muscle that we're massaging doesn't really release. So like, the closer I can get to keeping pressure on that pec, but also relaxing into the floor, the more I'm sending the message to my body, it's okay to let go. So another great way to work the pecs is up against a wall. You want to use a lacrosse ball. You can also use an orb or a bigger ball, a tennis ball if you have one. And what you're going to do is place yourself so that your feet are far enough away from the wall that you're going to get some pressure just by relaxing onto the wall. And you want to start with the ball pretty much near the armpit. You are going to explore everywhere. We're not just looking for the pec minor, but you can also work the pec major in this position. So from here, we'll move the microphone. Get the ball on the wall. The more you can look like you're making out a wall with the ball, especially in your local gym, the better off you will be, because then nobody will bother you. Notice I'm moving my arm up and down, and I'm feeling a snapping, couple of strings in there, and again, taking the time to go slow. Don't be surprised at some point if you work your pecs for a couple weeks in a row, that let go experience will show up as tears or sadness or an emotion that hasn't been released from your body. If it does, I highly encourage that you breathe through it and you just lean into it. Don't try to identify it as something that's happening currently or what came from your past. It doesn't need a name, it just needed to be felt. And when we take the time to foam roll, we actually feel our feelings as well as our muscles and where we haven't been feeling. So I'm excited for you to explore your pec minor and your pec major, and leave a comment if you have any interesting experiences of heart opening. I'd love to know.